Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode with Culture and Medicine with Tin and On. We're on episode 9 today.
What's up?
We'll have Yuki on with us.
Woo! Hey,
Yeah, so the podcast, we're going to be talking about what's happening recently in the week, culture. Also, we have both two medical students who's going to be finishing soon. So we try to, talk about medicine and stuff into lens up the culture too. So, what we got for what do you got today, man?
today was a very sad week, man. Um, it's about the mass shooting in Texas. So it was very surreal, because I know that this last week was the last week of school for most of the kids, including Jared's, and I just attended his graduation too. You know, his sixth grade promotion to seventh grade. And it's a happy time, you know. Like I'm proud of him. Like he won the President's Award and all this stuff. Like he actually has a certificate from like President Biden signed it that he like did really well and achieved his goals and stuff. And his teacher
Okay.
nominated him, which is really nice. And then like the very next day, I hear about the news of the Texas mass shooting, man. Like was it like 19 kids died and two teachers? Just some 18-year-old went, he shot his grandma, right? And then posted up on social media. And then he said that he'll go shoot up at elementary school. And then he went to the elementary school and just shot up like 19 kids. And it's ridiculous. And I was like, I can't imagine what the parents are going through. It's horrible, you know? Like, and we just talked about mass shooting like 2 weeks ago on our episode like 7. And like this is happening like at this rate, you know, it's just crazy. And I don't know, like we talked about it before. There's regulations that needs to be changed and policies, but at the end of the day, is it really gonna matter? Is it because we've agreed that we either have to go with like absolutely 100% restriction on guns or what was the other method? I don't know.
Yeah, either like full
There
on
isn't
like
really
it's either like full on restriction on guns, or the total opposite where you want to arm everybody,
everybody, yeah,
or
even
I think
kids.
like psychological. Actually, no, I don't think that was part. Yeah, it's either like straight up restriction everything, or like yeah, make sure you arm everybody and like teachers and stuff.
Hmm. So yeah, my heart goes out to all those parents and all those families that have lost their kids. Cause like, dude, when it comes to kids, you know, they're just these innocent kids, just going on their last day of school. Like these kids, they just love playing video games. They just like playing with their friends. They like just playing with toys or their pets. It's like innocent kids, you know, that just happen to be the wrong school. It just really, I can't imagine it if it happened to my own kid, you know, like it's just really sad.
Yeah.
And then like I heard there's like a lot of more drama that has been like coming up on the news. Did you hear like about like one of the responders, the emergency responders, kids was in that school and he responded there and then she was the one that got shot, you know, and like her friend was the one that was all covered in blood and her friend was like, "Oh, I just saw my friend," you know, and she said the name, and then the EMT was like, "Wait, that's my daughter's name," you know. So it's like there's like so many stories within it, and it's just really disheartening. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's heartbreaking.
Did you? Yeah, it's. Did you hear about it? Like, what did you think about it, man?
I mean, it's gonna. I did hear about it, and then at first it was like the numbers of like I remember it was like getting real time update, like the number of death and number of casualty was kind of like off in the beginning, but that's just because people like information wasn't getting out correctly, and so with real time update at first it was like, oh yeah, people were injured, but no deaths or anything, but it takes time for people to kind of confirm deaths and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, I heard about it, and it just kind of so close to the previous shootings too. I feel like people can. I feel like you start becoming a little more like numb and callous to all these news of shootings and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but was it elementary school or middle school?
Elementary school,
Yeah, dude, like
fourth, fifth,
these
and
young
sixth grade.
kids
Yeah,
getting out of summer. I can't imagine like just think about like getting excited about being done with school and like getting planned for summer and stuff, and then this happened. And I can't imagine like growing up now, like even the survivors, the kids who do survive. That's gonna take a lot. That's gonna take years of therapy.
yeah. And I mean, at this point, we're going into like family practice, and we've heard about ACE, right? The What does ACE stand for? Have you heard of that? ACEs?
No, was it?
I learned this in my family rotation, but I totally forgot. But it stands for something, but it's like traumatic events that happen when you're in childhood that really increases your chances of getting comorbidities and diseases like diabetes, hypertension, heart attacks, and stuff.
Oh
So
wow.
there's studies that have actually shown that kids who have higher scores or points on their ACEs, it's like an actual questionnaire that the parents and the kids they fill out, and then if it's high, these kids have a higher chances of getting these illnesses. So like I feel like just having a traumatic event like this, a mass shooting, we're gonna have to be aware of like how to take care of these kids that have gone to this. I know each traumatic event is traumatic, but like mass shooting is like on its own category probably. Like maybe there hasn't been enough studies, but I'm sure that these kids have long-lasting traumatic exposure and it's gonna affect them somehow. So it'll be good to know how to take care of these if this is one of your patients and stuff. Because obviously we know this is not gonna go away in America. It's just gonna happen. So it's just when and how are we going to like adapt to this?
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if
Like
it'd be like a common question in the future to be like, oh, have you ever been, in a mass shooting?
yeah,
That's like one of the questions in the questionnaire or something.
it's like are you also exposed to like gun violence at home or in your neighborhood and stuff? It's like, bro, man. It's really hard, man. And like another thing that really bothers me is that you know how like we grew up thinking that school is somewhere that's safe. It's like as parents we feel okay to have our kids go to school every day. While we go to work or you know like school is somewhere safe that we can feel like our kids can be with other kids without any worries. But um, now that now that this is more frequent, mass shootings have become. Mass shootings also has the overtaken the number one. Like, was it the number one um, killer in kids or something? Car accident used to be number one, but now it's now like shooting or gun violence has
It's a fact, or are you saying that
popped.
that's gonna be eventually the case? Are you
Like, have
saying
you seen that data? I don't know.
the data that firearms gun shooting is the leading cause of death in kids.
I saw that. I saw that data. I don't know. I didn't really fact check it, which is I should have.
Yeah.
But like that just that surprised me. I don't know how accurate it is, but anyways, like what I'm saying is like kids should feel safe at school. But I feel like if I was a kid at this time, I'd be scared of going to school, and that's just not a good way. That's just not a good feeling to have, you know. Yeah.
Would you feel safer if they had security guards and metal detector check at your school?
Well, if we're going that route of not banning guns like completely, then I think that's the other way around. Yeah, having to be really strict. It has to be very strict, you know. Then yeah, I'll feel safer, but it's gonna be so
Like,
inconvenient.
can't what like isn't that something that you can do in the meantime while you wait for the progression to complete gun ban? Like, should
Yeah,
isn't that something that school can invest in to protect the kids?
yeah, yeah. I think these like prophylactic measures, I guess. These security things. It's gonna be. It'll help definitely. Um, but I don't know if because like think about TSA, right? Like ever since 9/11 happened, like security in the airport has really ramped up, right? So that brings up a good question. Like, how come security in schools haven't ramped up because of these? I would think they would, right?
Right?
Uh,
But people, I
but
feel
yeah,
people get
I
so
don't,
fixated on like either banning guns or not, and it's like, yeah, fine, you guys can argue about that, but in the meantime, why don't you guys do something to protect the kids?
yeah,
Like, there's stuff you can do in the meantime, you know. Like, same thing with, let's say you have some kind of like you broke your leg, something you're waiting for surgery. You know, like before you get the surgery to decide get surgery or not, you let heal on your own. The stuff you gonna do while you wait in the meantime, you know, like avoid
hmm
weight bearing and like pain medications or something, and keep the wound clean. That you can do to minimize risk of infection and stuff. I don't know. That's not really good. That's not really a good analogy, but there's like stuff that you can. There's stuff that you can take to protect the
they are
kids.
protective. Yeah, they are. I I totally agree with you.
Maybe
I
like
would feel
parents
safer.
can do like a militia coalition or something in high risk area, high risk neighborhood. Teach like gun training, gun safety to teachers and kids.
Yeah, this is. It might sound crazy, but like I would honestly feel safer if there were a bunch of security guards armed and ready to literally
Yeah, like
kill any
that would definitely
terrorist.
make me as if I was a parent like feel better. It's like, oh, if something does happen, I know that like there's a security team on call that's gonna be there within 5 minutes of the
Yeah,
school.
dude, the prisoners have more security. Judge, like
That's
like
true, yeah.
the jury courts have more security. Why can't school have more security?
Right? Like you
They're the most
telling the
vulnerable.
secret services like protecting presidents with like security and everything. All the politicians have securities and stuff. Like how come the kids don't get any?
Yeah, they're the most vulnerable too. Yeah, that's a good point. I know that some schools do have like metal detectors and stuff.
Yeah, they are.
Very minimal measures, security measures, but like,
But yeah, but like it's like what I said, right? Like any sort of thing to kind of deter people, like kind of make the bear to kind of raise the barrier and make it a little bit harder for people to carry out the shootings or whatever, or think about bringing weapons to school or something. It's gonna be more
yeah,
likely to deter people.
right, yeah. that's what we can do in the meantime. But
Yeah, you and the other parents of Jared's school should form a militia, take turn patrolling the ground.
gosh, that's so scary. That's so scary that we have to think about that. Like
Dude, it
that's
is great. Like
actually
I would
very,
never, it's like think about like that thought would never cross my mind to where
yeah.
we get arm out kids or like arm out teachers or arm the school, put like bulletproof windows and stuff. Maybe invest in like a safe house or something.
Yeah. Oh, what? Ah, sorry. Getting messages. I'm gonna silence this.
Any last word about the shooting?
It got political, man.
Who?
You know how like both sides will take this as an opportunity to get political.
Yeah.
I hate it.
That's exactly the problem, right? Like they turn the whole thing to like gun control and stuff. It's when it's everything that we've been talking about, the solutions to protect the kid. They don't even talk about. Like
Yeah, it's
instead of
the
spending time
kids.
talking about gun control and stuff, why don't you guys talk about what protective measure can we do for the kids?
Mhm. Like I want them to interview the kids and how they feel about it. It's just them literally risking their lives when they go to school.
Yeah, dude, that's actually a point I was gonna bring up earlier. Like, I wonder how many of these kids, who's like the survivors, is kind of like grow up to be, oh, I never want to touch a gun again. Like, get
Right.
absolute fear when they see a gun, compared to like a number of kids who's gonna be like, oh, after this, I'm gonna go take gun training class and carry my own guns in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's like two options they can do. I wonder what the splits are among that.
Yeah. I really think we should ask the kids. Like literally talk to them. Uh,
Yeah, but they're kids, so it's like hard.
but they should have
Like
a say in this
usually
stuff.
the parents are the one making the decisions, right?
Yeah. But if I thought about this like when I was sleeping yesterday, I was like, what if all the kids, world like country wise, kids just like go on strike and they don't go to school for like a year because they're in danger. They go to school, so if they just are on strike, like would that actually change something? Like they don't want to go to school, and it has to be every single kid.
What do you
You
mean?
think that?
What do you think that would change?
Well, it'll just like um, it'll give the government a message. You know, like wow, like these kids are actually scared to go to school. I know it's like probably impossible to get every kid to be on the same page, but like we'll have like a spokesperson, some presidential like student that really knows how to speak and speak for their kids or their colleagues. They're like organize this thing so that they don't go to school. They're on strike until the government actually does something. Maybe the security measures that we said, like each school needs to have 10 security armed and ready, and they have metal detector, all this stuff. Like they'll have like these requirements that they want before they can go back to school. I feel like that would be a very strong message, and I think like if all our kids aren't going to school, like that's a huge thing, you
Yeah,
know.
I think
But
you can
it's
probably
one of those
get
things.
that set up within the local community itself. It doesn't have to be like just let's say just even within the school district. You know, the parents can set
Yeah,
it up
start off
and
small. Yeah.
coordinate. That would make a change already. I feel like
Hmm.
it doesn't have to be at a national level.
I know it's gonna be impossible, but that's my point. Is like I think we should have the kids, like you said, kids in mind. Like they're the ones that are risking their lives. we shouldn't be fighting over like our politics and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
did
like a
you
bunch
see
of
like
it's like a bunch of old man and woman who hasn't been to school for the
yeah,
past 30, 40 years. You know, trying to
yeah,
give them the policy. I'm like, you haven't stepped foot into school for the past like 30 years. What do you know?
hmm dude, and it didn't even just it didn't even like just talk about gun laws itself. It even got to like police and you know the cops and how they handled it too. You know how like the whole
I heard about the cops thing too.
cop
Yeah,
hates and stuff.
I
Um,
feel, but I don't know. From what I was reading, I think the cop handled that pretty poorly too. I don't understand what they were waiting for.
no, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like, but see, I'm practicing the being cognizant of the media because they're trying to brainwash me
Okay, that's
and
true.
trying to
You're
like
right.
talk, like because I know how like the liberals they hate cops. So like I was reading this and I was like, wait, what if this is like a liberal thing brainwashing me? So I really want to know, like, is there like some sort of um is there some sort of like strategy that cops use to handle this type of stuff, like to wait and stuff? I don't know, like if that's something.
Australia could have been following protocol.
Yeah, like I don't know. So, but just I knew that reading this article, the one that I read, was very left wing. Like um, and everyone in the comments too. It's like, wow, like this is what the cops do. Like, and then I started realizing, okay, I'm getting brainwashed, and I need to know both sides. Like, I need to know what the protocol is.
Oh yeah, you're right. Maybe like the protocol would
Yeah,
be like because they don't have enough information yet. They don't know that just one shooter. There could be multiple shooters, and like they
yeah,
come in could like and there could be more kids get killed because you
hmm
didn't eliminate only one. There's like multiple shooters around. Like
yeah. You
so
want to
maybe they
minimize,
need time to
right?
like gather information and stuff too. Yeah, that's true. You're
Yeah,
right.
recon or something. Like, I really think that like we're missing something. We only see what they report. Like, you know, maybe they make a statement like, "Oh, so this is like what," but maybe they don't want to say it because then they'll release that to the public, and that's something that a shooter would want to know. You know, like what if
Oh, like the
they don't
protocols and
want to?
stuff.
Yeah, like
That's true.
so
You're
it's
right.
like I started thinking about this stuff, and I'm like, okay, like I'll give the cops the benefit of the doubt, and stuff. And like, did you hear about like them saying that one of the cops would say like, "Oh, yell help if you need help," and then the kid yelled help
And she got
and then
shot.
got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, that's really crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that also supports the narrative that cops don't know what they're doing and they're not really there to help us, and they have too much power and they can do whatever they want. Um, it's just that narrative, and I'm just afraid that I was getting brainwashed. So maybe we can talk to our friend Kevin and be like, hey, do you know like what's the protocol for like I don't know, because it does seem bad that they waited so long for like the killer to like murder more kids
Yeah.
until they finally got the SWAT team or whatever. I don't know who actually raided the shooter, but yeah. So that's what was happened this week. Pretty crazy. Um, yeah, man. Anything else that I missed?
I think Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's trial
Ooh, update me.
ended
Is
this
it
week.
over
I think it's over.
already?
I think they put out the closing statement yesterday. I don't know if they come to a conclusion yet. Probably not, because I don't see any news about it.
Your appointment. But can I ask you something? Do
Yeah.
you think that Amber Heard, she is it right for her to get all this hate and stuff, like death threats and all this stuff from people that hate her for doing this to Johnny Depp? And do you think that that is justified?
I think it's justified.
Okay. I don't know.
Why don't you think it's justified?
I think she should get punished, or like there should be some retribution, but like to the to like death threats and all this hate and stuff. I don't think she deserves that stuff.
I'm really not that stressed and stuff. I don't ever, condone sending death threats to
Yeah,
anybody,
yeah,
family.
yeah. So that's
But
kind of over the top. But I definitely think that she needs to like have like at least like money wise, like she needs to pay whatever she caused Johnny Depp's career. She needs to like maybe not be um in like a lot of movies that support things like abuse and stuff because she's an abuser, like things like that. I understand, but like death threats and like all these hate and stuff, I think
I mean,
that's too
she
much.
deserved the hate. I don't condone death threats ever. But I mean, I understand why she get the hate, and I'm not gonna say I hate her myself, but I can definitely see why she get the hate. So okay, so I looked it up, and this looks like the jury is not gonna give out a decision until Tuesday. So we don't know what the jury is gonna say
Um,
yet.
okay.
So that's for our next episode. But yeah, man, I tell you why I don't like Amber Heard, and she deserved what's coming to her. It's because she literally lied about everything. She lied about being abused, and maybe if there was some abuse, but she totally hammed it up, and she make up false evidence, and she makes up lies about Johnny Depp. Why? For her own personal gain. It's not like if she was
Yeah.
actually abused, don't lie about it. Just say what you actually were abused for. But she went out her way to like make all this stuff, make it seem like she's the victim, and then maybe she did that so she can get a divorce. Okay, sure. Let's say she did that to get a divorce. Why did you claim to donate that money from the divorce settlement to some kind of charity, and then she never went through with it? She pledged the money that she's supposed to get from the divorce court. They brought this up in court, and she pledged the money for some charity. I forgot what the charity is for. Probably for like domestic violence or whatever. But she never sent any of the money.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Oh, so she
she's literally,
scammed them.
people wouldn't be so mad if she was actually a victim of domestic abuse, but she lied to get to where she is now, right? She literally went on talks. She was getting paid money to go on like talks about domestic violence and stuff. She like the whole time she's making out for herself to be a victim, when in reality, now that people realize that she's actually is an abuser herself. Like that's why she got all the hate she got, and not only that, because of her lies. Like Johnny Depp lost um, job opportunities and everything. That's like millions of dollars that he got made in his lifetime. Not that he needs
Yeah.
more money, but and people are just really mad because of the stupid decisions that movie executives and companies make based on Amber Heard's lies, when it's never been proven that like the entire time, Johnny Depp has never been proven to commit domestic violence to Amber Heard. It's never been
Yeah.
proven. It's all what she said,
Right.
and he got punished for it. And then evidence came out to light that actually, oh wait, he actually didn't do those things.
Yeah.
So that's why she got hate. She's a manipulative,
She she
narcissistic person.
deserves okay, so
So it's justice. That's why it's literally the hashtag is justice for Johnny Depp, right? Like people
justice.
feel like it's
Yeah.
finally justice coming, and we all love we all love like you know triumphs over evil. Good
Yeah.
finally triumphs.
No, that I
That's
agree
why
with
she got
that.
out of hate, and that's why I understands it.
Yeah. So she deserves the hate.
She deserved all of it. As you guys can see, I'm very biased.
Yeah. No, I get you, but I think there's like there's a line between like hate and then there's like death threats and like people
Yeah,
actually
I mean, there's a
really want
line
to kill
between
her. Yeah.
getting hate and getting like abuse.
Yeah.
But I
So
mean,
yeah, I think
you're in
she
the
should
public, you're a
pay.
celebrity. That's what's gonna happen to you.
Yeah.
Be prepared for it. Yeah. So next week we
Hmm.
find the result. So this is video I ran into. Apparently she's this this beast of a weightlifter. She's just a female, but apparently she pee every time she like all over the gym. Every time she deadlifts.
Incontinence.
Yeah. So it's urinary stress incontinence. And I guess I never really thought about this, but I mean, people gotta have it, especially like woman lifters. But I guess maybe woman lifters not as common. But it's urinary stress incontinence is very common from from what we know, right? In women, especially after having kids,
Yeah.
it's actually a very common problem in women. So yeah, apparently she has it, but like she goes to the gym, she go balls to the wall, and deadlifts and you literally see like urine coming out like straight up, just like piss all over the floor. And people
Yeah, that's
and like,
right.
but the problem is a lot of people don't know. Like like me and you, we're familiar with urinary stress incontinence, but a lot of the common people don't really know. They like do like all your Instagram comments, like YouTube video comments, just like Reddit like commenting on this stuff. They're like, dude, that's disgusting. Like, why didn't she go to the bathroom before and
Uh,
stuff?
oh man.
But then people's like, why did she wear
Well,
like diaper
that's
when she lips?
yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. I'm
I
like,
was gonna. I was just
what
gonna
would your
say that.
solution be for that? I don't like. Would you just stop
Yeah,
lifting heavy stuff?
if that was your patient that came into the office, right? Like this could very well be your patient. Hey, doctor, I've been lifting for many years, and this has never happened to me. But I just started having, I just started peeing on myself after I had my first child. Like, why does this happen? Stuff like that. Like, is there a solution I can do this? That can very be a patient that comes into your clinic. So this is really good, like to know what to do and what type of treatment they are. And I think like wearing a diaper is obviously a good solution, but it's not gonna be very um like it won't look good, I guess, because wearing a diaper and your gym clothes, that's probably not gonna look good. So other methods are like medical, right? Like there's some medications that they can take. What is it called? Propion? No, not that. Not not.
That's a segment.
No, what's
Like
the
oxybutynin.
toll? Yeah, oxybutin. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about that sketchy video. Yeah,
Do
and
those
that
help?
that
Do
actually
those help
works.
with stress incontinence?
I know it helps with incontinence, but I don't know with stress. That's true.
Yeah, I think it might be for like overflow or like
Hmm.
vasoactive, where it's like too much
Okay.
stimulation. And I think with stress, I think the
Then
only thing you can do is like conservative stuff, man. Like Kegel exercises and pessaries.
pessaries.
I think like the worst case, like if like final line is gonna be surgery, where you straight up go in and try to like close up the sphincter,
Yeah.
like tighten up the sphincter. But I mean, I'm sure she does Kegel exercise. I don't know.
But
Yeah,
obviously, we have to look into it more. But to distinguish if it's stress or if it's overflow, it could be
yeah.
any of those.
I mean, based on her case, it's like stress. I don't think she's walking around peeing. I think it's only when she does like heavy lifting. That's still so weird though. I would never. That's like not like that's like as a guy like that's like a problem that we actually never even kind of worry about. Besides,
Yeah.
I guess for me, like I think the worst fear would be like pooping my pants while swatting.
So,
I think that's like the worst gym fear for me.
have you ever done it?
I come close, dude. It's like
Close.
I think especially on like heavy squat, you can when you go down, you can actually feel your anus like opening up. It's a weird feeling, but you actually feel it's just like involuntary. It just kind of open up
TMI.
when you like go heavy.
Dead.
And
Just
then on
shredding
some
your.
days where you kind of have to go to the bathroom, but you don't want to go, you just like I just hold it and then you swat. Those are the dangerous days, man.
You're gonna be the next TikToker, or someone got a video of you just shitting your pants.
Just pooping every time I squat. What condition is this? Oh, this guy
I
just
know.
stupid.
No,
This
but
guy.
I do know somebody. I'm not gonna name names, but I do know someone. He's a guy that can't keep his bowel movements. Like he'll poop on his pants like very frequently.
Really?
Like when he drives, and
Like
he
involuntary?
has to
Like does he
go.
feel it all? Is it just involuntary or what? He just
No, he
can't hold
feels
it.
it coming, but he just can't hold it. Like his
Really?
sphincter isn't strong enough or something. But I don't know if that's a thing. Is that a medical condition? Does he just have a weak anal sphincter? Because like we normally can keep a good amount of poop in a rectal vault, right? Because their anal sphincter, but maybe his is just very weak. I don't know. But he's pooped. He's pooped on his dates before. Like it's
Like
really
on like
embarrassing.
in his pants?
In his past, when he's driving her home from like a date, and then he says, "I'm sorry, but like I have to poop. Like I pooped my
Is a
pants
medical
already."
condition?
I think so,
Crazy.
but like she took care of him, so then he ended up marrying her.
Wow. I mean, I would if anyone wants to know, put
Yeah,
up with you
so
through
she
that.
wasn't she wasn't you know disgusted with it. She actually took care of him. Was like, "Oh, this is something that you have to go with, and I'm okay with it." So he ended up marrying her. So I'm like, "You
Yeah, man.
lucked out, man."
Yeah, my wife would totally divorce me. Dude, she get mad at me just for like farting, and I'm like, that's like I can't hold my fart. That's like a natural thing that people do.
But there's different. There's holding, there's farting, and then there's like pushing it out to make it louder.
No,
Okay,
and sometimes, dude, I'm telling you, sometimes just go fart.
there's a difference between those two, and I know living with you, I know you push it out
No,
sometimes.
I don't. That's a lie.
There's no way that it can be that loud. It's
That's
just
that's
natural,
that's
like seepage.
I'm gonna sue you for defamation.
Right.
But yeah, heavy weightlifting. The Valsalva maneuvers, worse than urinary stress incontinence. I never ran into that before, so it's interesting.
Kegel exercises. Uh,
I
I
have three more
don't
weeks
know if
to
it works.
like. I'm getting so strong now. I have 3 more weeks left of my workout plan. I did 4 or 5 deadlift yesterday for 2 reps, which
How
was like
many?
for 2 reps. So, and
Dang.
the 4 or 5 pound deadlift is actually my prior PR. So I think my PR
PR.
by the end of this block is gonna be like even higher.
Damn, bro.
It feels good, man. I ran to
So you take
this
it.
TikTok. This like sound like Instagram TikTok where it was kind of like it talk. People just put into the workout videos, clips them working out.
Mhm.
It's literally just say like it's the summary of it is pretty much quote. It's a shame for a man to grow old without finding out what he's physically capable of. And I thought about that. It's like I really like that, man. Like that's why I want to be as strong as I can and like see where I am, like peak physically. So when you get older, be like, oh, I regret not doing this in my youth, and try to, you know, be
Yeah.
the best I can at something. So I like that.
Damn. So don't be tempted taking those roids, because that will
That would
peak
push
your
you over,
true.
huh?
That's your peak true potential.
That's
So
true.
he should have a little line in his quote, like, except for all natural or something. I
Yeah.
don't know,
When
because if you want to reach your peak, you gotta take some of that steroids.
dude, did you see Chris Hemsworth like new trailer?
No, I haven't seen it.
The
Is
dude
he
is like
freaking?
absolutely jacked, man. It's like There's like a shirtless scene in there. The dude's like absolutely jacked, like to the. He's definitely on like anabolic steroids.
Wait, I want to see it. But trailer for what movie?
His new Thor movie. Go to the new trailer and then
Oh,
go toward like the end where they kind of blew his clothes away.
oh my gosh.
And I think the last like 10, 15 seconds or something. Absolute peak like human physique on steroids.
Yeah.
Like, dude just have really good genetics too, but it's like the biggest and the most shredded he's been in all of the Thor movies.
Once you're hooked on, I feel like you can't stop,
I mean, he get paid
right?
bunch of money to like look like that because so I mean I can see why he would do it. But yeah, I think he's
Yeah,
like in his 40s now, if not
right?
yeah late 30, like in his 40s, maybe early 40s, and still looking like that, just getting
Yeah.
bigger and getting
Dude,
more jacked is ridiculous.
did you look into like the hate that what's his name? The guy that played Batman. What's his name?
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson. Like, there's a lot of critics saying like, oh, he didn't look buff like the Batman would be super buff, right? But he didn't look buff. And then his quote was like, "Oh, I those who spend all the time in the gym or on their physique, I don't know something. I forgot his quote, but basically, essentially, he was saying like, I don't want to spend all my time in the gym looking good just for like the visual. I want to spend learning the character and acting, and really portraying Batman in that sense,
Yeah,
like his personality and stuff. And I think that's just his way of saying like, bro, I don't want to do steroids like everyone else.
yeah, no, straight up,
I think that's what he's saying, like,
straight up. Like at first
right?
he got a lot of hate for it because like people. I mean, I guess he was saying that people took his quote out of context where he kind of talked about, oh yeah, I'm not really working out that much. Some people were saying like, oh, this guy's lazy, he doesn't want to work out and stuff.
Yeah, I think
But
he
I think he does
doesn't.
work
But
out. But I think he just. Oh, I'm not a Robert Pattinson hater. Okay, I mean I liked him. I liked him in like the Batman. I know he does a lot of good movies, but I feel like yeah, maybe he was a little lazy and that he doesn't want to work out as much. But you're also absolutely right in that he doesn't want to take the steroids for it because
yeah,
a lot of the
and he
superhero
can't
people
say
stuff,
anything about it too.
a lot of superhero people like they get
Yeah,
jacked up like to look the part for superhero. They gotta take steroids to put on that much muscle in a short time. And if you never worked out seriously before,
yeah,
it takes time to build up all those muscles and look like that.
yeah. No, I really think so, man. Like, and obviously he can't say it because then they'll ban him to the shadow realm and never have any
Yeah, I mean,
movie
none
parts
of
ever.
the
Like,
celebrity actors gonna be like, oh yeah, I took steroids. Like none of them ever gonna admit to it.
yeah,
But
they
everyone,
can't.
I mean, not everyone. Like most people know all they find a story. But the thing is, like you didn't know. Like a lot of the common people
I
who
didn't.
doesn't go to the gym and like doesn't know how hard it actually takes to look like that will be like, you know what? They can do
Yeah,
it, work out like that. I can if I eat like that, I work out like this, and I look like them in 6 months or whatever 6 month transformation. So like, if you guys listen to this, just know that it's impossible.
no,
It takes years in the gym for you guys to look like that naturally.
yeah, no. We should really talk about it because it's such a. You know what sucks too is that people that take the steroids, they use their image as an advertising of their workout plan.
Yeah, that's true.
And nowhere in the plan would say that, well, anabolic steroids, you need this.
Right.
No, they're gonna be like, no, you have to follow my, workout plan and everything, and
Yeah,
then you look like that's a total misleading advertising. Like
definitely
that's
misleading. I feel like you sue any of those like people for like misleading false advertisement.
yeah, I
They'll
really
get right.
think so.
Like, cause
That's
they
bad.
just like, oh, you eat like me with nutrition plan and work out this many times a week.
Yeah,
Do the exact exercise, push yourself, work hard. That you can look like me too.
there's so many of them though, like on social media and TikTok, and they people actually buy their plans and buy their whatever nutrition and stuff. But little do they know, like you said, the common people that don't know how hard it is to put on muscle, they won't know that steroids was the one that is the thing that's helping him. So it's like it's very misleading. And I think
Yeah.
it's good to educate the people on that. And there are some people that I've seen that are very transparent with it though. They're like, hey,
Yeah.
like
Which they should be. You know, those guys are
the
good guys.
results.
But
Yeah,
90% of the
those are good.
people, fitness influencer you see on Instagram is on steroids. Any
Yeah.
guys, any young guys listening to this, 90% of fitness influencer Instagram guys that you see on Instagram is on like TikTok and stuff on steroids.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like, because that's not. I mean, they have to look like that so they can sell the supplements and protein powder, pre-workout, and BCAAs, whatever, and people will buy it
Right.
because they're like, oh, they look this good. That means they're doing something right.
I know.
And the problem is like, if you want to get to the industry, you have to take it. Like, because there's no way you're gonna compete. You're not gonna be able to look like that, especially you're a young guy. You don't have time to put into it. And without the juice, you're not gonna be able to. Because like, to get big on Instagram, and TikTok, you gotta look like juice to the max. You gotta like look good,
Hmm.
and the only way you're gonna do that is by getting juice.
Yeah.
You gotta look better than the next guy. You gotta pop. Yeah, so definitely fitness industry is very toxic, bro.
Hmm.
What do you think about
I but
what you want to say before I start the next one?
oh yeah. It's a little thing that I was listening to a podcast about it's this like fitness trainer. He works with superhero like actors that play superheroes and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and like he actually trains them. Like he worked with people from 300.
Yeah,
Like what's his name?
Gerard Butler.
The Jared Butler. Yeah, I don't think he ever worked out, but like he got shredded for that movie. Everyone else in that movie were all shredded. It wasn't CGI. It
There
was
was some
just like
CGI.
there was some CGI.
Yeah,
Okay, but
it
anyway,
was famous for that.
yeah. But that workout company got really really famous because they trained the actors of 300. So ever since then they've been getting a lot of like uh, contracts with like Chris Hemsworth, I think, or I think the Avengers and all these other really big movies. They've all trained
Oh wow,
those
I didn't know
actors
that.
and stuff. Yeah,
Oh cool.
yeah. There's a really I forgot what the company suck at remembering names. But anyways, like I was listening to the podcast and I was like, dang, I wonder if they're gonna reveal that they use steroids, but no, it's all 100% natural and stuff like that. This is I don't believe you anymore, stuff like that. So it sucks. I don't think like it's so taboo or like they don't want to bring it up or what. I don't know. I think like the public needs to know. Like we need to let them know.
Yeah, I mean they don't want the people to know. It's a cheat code. Like you can just tell just from like even when people hate on them, and they be like, I remember people like Zac Efron get absolutely yoked. But this one time in The Rock and stuff, and people always something like, "Oh yeah, if I was an actor, all I had to do is have my own personal chef, and I had time to work out like 3 times a day, like they do. Obviously, I can look like that too." And just from those kind of
Hmm.
comments, you already know, oh yeah, actually, you don't know what you're talking about. You can work like that, like you can work out for like
Right,
10 hours a day. You're never gonna look like that.
right. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Arnold was on gear.
huh?
Arnold was on gear. He was on steroids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm one of those people that didn't know until like I started looking to this.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, it's like I think we need to let other people know more.
yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean,
Like
it's good
even
that
even Jared, even Jared, like he's been telling me like, oh yeah, I want to work out
he
and
want to
look
look.
like this.
It's time, man. He want to look good for the ladies.
I know it's his time, but I'm like, I had to break it to him. I was like, so all these actors and stuff are all on steroids. I had to give him the whole
Oh, you
speech. Like,
can't start. You can't start out like that, bro. Come on. You gotta be like, yeah, you can totally look like that, Jared. Let's go. We're getting this workout plan,
no,
and then once you establish
don't want
a
to
good
lie to him.
workout plan, and once you start getting stronger, and you start seeing result, then you can be like, actually, they on steroids.
I don't want to.
Well, you gotta demotivate.
No, but
You
that
gotta demoralize him like that.
no, he still wants to like work out and be fit. He just wants to do it naturally now. Now he knows.
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
He just knows that it's what you see is impossible without steroids. So.
I mean, it's not like I'm not gonna say impossible. Like a good chunk of you can look like those guys like a good chunk of the time. Like you just can't look like that all the time like they do. Like the people on gear, they look like that all the time. Like they always yoked and shredded. But like a
Mhm.
natural bodybuilder, you can like the general stereotype is you can either be big or you can be shredded. You can't be both.
I see.
So like you can still look really good as like natural bodybuilders. Like just working out, you can still like have a six pack. You can still get like really nice delts and nice packs and everything.
Hmm.
Just not like insane 6 month transformation, like that kind of stuff. You can
Yeah,
do it over like years of consistency and training.
years,
I'm telling you, man, get Jared
which
started.
makes it so like
People always want like short term result, but like it's the consistency that's gonna get you there.
yeah.
Yeah. Like if I wish I was like more consistent back then, like working out and stuff, just on and off. The result could be so much better.
No, man, I think you're doing well already. Like I've seen a lot of people at the gym, a lot older guys. They're kind of like your stature, you know. They're like big, but they're not very tall. Sorry, but like he's like in his 50s or 60s. He's Asian too, but like he still looks really fit and buff, you know, because he like reached his peak when he was like 25 or 26. Yeah, he was talking to me,
Nice.
and then but like it's funny because like he can't do. He still looks big and buff, but he doesn't want to do those heavy weights anymore because it hurts his joints and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
You only have
so
a certain
like
amount of. You have a limit one time window to do
yeah,
those heavy movements.
exactly. Which I just thought it was sad. I was like, oh dang.
Yeah. Because
Even
you,
though like
you
he
gotta think of
wants
it as
to,
like an athlete. You can't be an athlete forever.
yeah,
Like putting all the stress on like your joints, like in
joints.
basketball stuff. You
Hmm.
can't be sprinting and like jumping up and down. Like it's gonna destroy your knee.
Yeah, so that's why you do your sports, all your sports now, you know, while you're at peak.
For sure.
It's sad though. But yeah. Anyway, don't take steroids unless you want
Maybe
to.
take it once. Unlock that potential.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding, man.
and be
That's actually
okay with the side effects.
that's not how it works. It's not like you're taking in like remember I talked about myonuclei, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta establish those myonuclei first before you stop taking steroids. So you gotta go through at least one cycle. So you take it and then
One.
you work out. So you start building all these muscle and building all these myonuclei, and that doesn't happen after like one shot of testosterone or something. You gotta go through at least like maybe 3 months of it first before you actually see the result a little bit.
It's just like the gender transformation, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
dude,
all
like there's a
the
really
same
big hype
hormones.
like market in like hormone replacement therapy now, apparently, especially in the in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
And I don't even think you need to be a. Actually, I don't know. I don't know my enough data. I don't want to say it, but I was gonna say I don't think you need to be a doctor to run it. But it's like those weight loss clinic. You don't necessarily need like a doctor to run it. It can be run by NPs and PAs. So same thing with
Yeah.
like the hormone stuff, hormone replacement therapy clinics. Like you don't need to be a medical doctor to run those clinics. Maybe we
Hmm.
can open one when we
Wow.
when we start.
Dude, the demand is there, man. Whenever there's demand, money.
Yep. So this
Yeah.
article I ran to is that less than a month after I met my soulmate, I ended my 14-year marriage. So apparently this lady wrote a book. It's probably a true story. I think it's based on her story or something. But she wrote a book that talks about how
What?
she's like 40 something years old, right? And she ran into
Mm-hmm.
this her soulmate apparently. This total stranger that she met at a like work conference. And after that one night, like they didn't hook up or anything. They just kind of like talked and like apparently for a long time they locked eyes together.
Buckeyes.
Yeah, I looked up immediately, lost my breath. They talked and stuff, and after that, she went home. They decided to divorce her husband, and it turns out her soulmate didn't even want to be with her. Is that not like a
What?
massive L or what? Like her
Wait, I
soulmate?
thought she would at least.
No, her soulmate doesn't want to like date her or anything. Her
I
soulmate
don't.
say
This
her
is so hard
soulmate
to
say
believe.
no.
Why would she? Well, okay. No, this is so hard to believe. She must be stupid, man. You at
Dude,
least
there.
ask that soulmate, like, hey, like, confirm that you have a backup before you totally destroy your 14-year-old marriage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she did the opposite. She
Okay, no,
divorced.
I guess they had like a
Uh,
fling of some sort. So I guess she did go out with her
okay, so
soulmate for
they
a bit.
did. Okay, the way that you made it seem, I was
Yeah.
like,
No,
okay,
so
so
they
they
did.
had something. She
So less
basically was cheating.
she cheated that one night, and then she just
Yeah.
came home. She's like, "I'm gonna break up with you." Less than a month after meeting Jason, having had no communication with him since our time, I ended my 14-year relationship with my husband. I kind of want to read this book now, dude. But like, come on,
Yeah.
do you believe in soulmate? What's
Soulmates.
your definition of a soulmate?
I believe that you have someone that you can, like, there's so many people in the world, right? Right? What, 7.5 billion now?
Okay,
And
let's say 7.5 billion, but let's subtract the guys, so let's say half of that,
okay, right.
and
So
then
four
subtract
point
the elderly
four.
and the children. So subtract a quarter of that.
Okay. So you have 33.5 billion. Okay, whatever. 1 billion. Out of that 1 billion, there's at least one person that really matches you. Okay? Like, just statistically, man, like,
When,
speaking,
when, when you say
there's
when you
that
say
one
matches you,
person
what do you
that
mean by
matches.
that?
Like, if you took a personality test, or I don't know, is there like a personality test for like dating wise? You know? Or I don't know. If out of that 1 billion, at least one person will match you like perfectly. Okay? And I think if the closest that you can get to a soulmate is that one person. I think the chances are very high because this is 1 billion is a big number, you know. It might not be a perfect match, but it'll be the closest. And so I think there is someone there. But that doesn't mean that you have a chance in meeting them because it's impossible to meet 1 billion people and to see, right? Because technically you have to meet 1 billion people to weed out that one person,
You gotta
right?
date 1 billion girl.
Yeah.
That sound like every guy's wet dreams.
But I'm saying technically, if you go into the math and doing it, that's the one way to find your soulmate, right? Um, so I think there is, but
Okay,
is it
okay, but
feasible? No, it's not feasible. But I think there is. To
So you
answer your
believe that
question,
there's a
I think there is.
soulmate, but it's unlikely that you will match with them.
Yeah, they're out there, but it's because not match with them, but meet them. Actually, like meet them in person.
Okay.
Unless you're able to date 1 billion people and get to meet 1 billion,
Well, that means you need to.
all
That means you need to be able to speak all languages.
no, because that's part of your soulmate, right? Because
So your soulmate gonna speak the
it
same language as you?
based on what no, it's based on what you let's say I'm saying this is all hypothetical, right? Let's say hypothetically there's a test, a personality test that you can make to find your soulmate, right? And hypothetically, every person that are available to date also takes this test. So let's say 1 billion people in this world, right, are available, I guess.
But that's all across
They
the world.
take it.
That's all across the world.
Yeah. But on that test it's gonna be like obviously asking you if you want someone that speaks the same language as you, right?
Okay,
Or do
so
you want someone
so that's
who
so then you already narrowing it down. You're saying that your soulmate got to be able to speak the same language as you.
but there's a lot of people that speak English in other countries,
Sure.
you know. Right.
Yeah, I'm not denying that. But you're saying
Yeah.
that for you, your soulmate got to be able to speak English.
Right. If that's one of my criteria, but I know a lot of other people won't it won't
Well, so
matter like,
that's
oh,
why I
I don't
asked you.
care.
What do you mean by soul? Like, what's the criteria for a soulmate? Is it like a physical
But does
connection? Is it like do they have like what? Like, what are some general ones?
it's things that meet your criteria and at the same time their criteria for their soulmate matches with you. So it's like the matching in residency, kind of like that. So you have to rate them high, and they have to rate you high too, or at least high on the higher side.
See, that's already
And that
flawed.
has to be
That's already a flawed assumption because usually men will rate like women are strict. We went through this before. Women are stricter, like more harsh when they rating guys compared to men rating women.
Mhm. But right,
No, but
and
I
that's
see what you're saying. So your soulmate would be the
even if
one where she would rank you high and you will also rank her high. Sure.
even with that, yeah.
But my point I'm
So
making is
that's
that usually guys gonna just rank pretty woman, and the woman just gonna rank like really good looking guys, not even average looking guys.
yeah, and if that's one of if and if that's true, that's just their criteria, right? And
You know,
so
I don't believe in the soulmate
you don't believe in
because
soulmates?
because just based on your criteria, that means only 10% of 20% of guys gonna get 80% of women because those 20% of guys gonna meet all the women's standards to be soulmates.
Okay, but no, but they
Well,
wouldn't because I see what you're saying, but that's assuming that they're willing to match with that person, right?
yeah, I
Right?
guess.
Even if
Then we start talking about long term versus short term relationships.
yeah, exactly.
Too many factors, man. Soulmate, but no, I still don't believe in soulmate. I think soulmate is you can call someone soulmate when you. I think soulmate's gonna be made. Like you gotta spend time with that person to really appreciate them. Because sometimes you don't even know what you want until you actually see it. Those kind of qualities in them. For instance, let's say
Mm,
you didn't know that you or prefer a girl who know how to like cook or make some delicious dish
mhm.
because you never grew up eating that kind of dish or you grew up with someone who does you you've been dating a bunch of girls, there's another couple you guys always eat out and stuff. But let's say you date a girl and then you're like, oh, you know what? After that relationship, you're like, I don't think I can go back. You really appreciate the quality that oh, she know to cook
Hmm.
good food and she know to make this dish really well, and that becomes part of your criteria for having a soulmate. Like she got to know to cook or something.
Hmm.
So what I'm trying to make is that a lot of the time,
I
even you yourself don't really know what you want and what you value in life, and also what you do
Yeah,
value in life also changes over time.
exactly.
So then your soulmate,
No, I agree.
it's not gonna be one person. It's gonna be someone that I feel that you kind of chisel out, that you're willing to look past all the flaws, like that you're willing to spend time with. That's gonna be your soulmate because
Yeah,
people are constantly changing, and your soulmate is gonna be constantly changing too.
yeah. I totally agree. I never said that the criteria are static. You know, they always change throughout your life. You value something that you didn't want before. Um, so it's interesting. I still believe, just in the sheer amount of people, I still believe in this. Like the sheer amount of people out there, there's got to be someone that you will get along with, and that will be your soulmate that you will go through life with, and you guys will get along with better than the other person. You know, but obviously we are always transforming through life. So that person, that originally was your perfect person won't be the same, you know, a few years from now. So it's going to be constantly
So you're
changing.
saying
It's like a variable.
that your soulmate will change every year
Not not like completely, but like you'll have different criterias.
because that no, you said your soulmate 3 years ago gonna change to a different person, so that won't be your soulmate anymore. So who's gonna be your new soulmate?
Yeah. So let's because obviously you're going to be dating through that time too. So you're going to be dating this guy that wasn't exactly your match, but you're giving him a chance, and then that's how you find out, like, oh well, like you said, like, I guess I'm okay with someone who likes sports. he I went to the gym with him a couple times, played some basketball, and I really started liking, basketball, like being more physical than I never did before. And then so her criteria kind of changes now, from like someone who maybe she liked a guy with video games and stuff, and now it's changing. Now that perfect soulmate that was in, her mind, it's forming to now like this guy who she's with, you know.
So then there's no such thing as soulmate.
But the definition of a soulmate is like someone that it's like made up almost, right? It's just so
No, I mean no.
you
When you
can.
okay, like maybe we're not clear about our definition of soulmate. What is the soulmate to you?
A soulmate is like someone who matches perfectly with you, like,
Like a physical
right?
someone, or are you saying like an ideal someone?
An ideal.
Okay, see that's where we went our separate way, man.
Oh, I
Me,
just think of it as like an idea, but but I'm using it statistically. There's someone that is gonna match that idea, but not perfectly. Does that make sense?
yeah. So someone
Just
who
because of this.
someone yeah. I mean that's what I think a soulmate is. It's someone like physical this like
Like
when I
an
think of
actual
soulmate,
living
that's
being.
actually someone out there in the world, the 1 billion person. That's why you brought the 1 billion persons. I thought
Yeah,
you were talking about physical, right? We talk about 1 billion person in the world. So there's to be at least one person out there who really similar to your
yes.
ideal
So
girl.
that's what I'm saying. Similar, but so that's what I'm saying, that
Who's the
he or
other
her is.
half of your soul who's gonna complete you. That's what a
Yeah.
soulmate is.
Yes.
But you're not saying that. You're saying it's an idea. You're not saying it's a physical person.
No. He's just
You
the
gotta you,
closest person. He's
you
just
gotta
the
be clear about
closest
your
person to
definition.
the idea.
When you talk about soulmate, are you talking about the physical person out of the 1 billion?
No, he's just the closest to your soulmate. It's just an idea. That's what I'm
So when
saying.
you're talking about soulmate, you're talking about like an ideal girlfriend.
Yeah.
I don't know how common that definition is.
I don't know either, but I think it's good to have it when you're dating, so you know, like, so you know your own,
Yeah,
like
it's called having
what is
standards.
attracted to. Yeah, it's just basically your standards.
Yeah. So you
And
don't
some
believe in soulmate.
people, no, I guess so. If that's your definition, a soulmate is an actual
Yeah.
physical human being.
You ask anybody, I mean, usually, especially girls, right? Because this is kind of a concept that girls have. It's it's a romantic kind of thing. You know, you're watching Korean dramas, you're watching Chinese dramas. You know, like is someone out there who is literally your other half, who's perfect for you, who's meant to be with you. That's the romantic idea, and that's why.
No, see, no. See, oh man, this is tricky. No, no, like, ah, it's tricky because I do still believe that there's soulmates out there because you have this idea, right? Your standards, and there's someone out there that physically is living that matches those standards. Okay, so technically, if we're using the equation, if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. Okay, right? Does that make sense?
Okay,
If A, yeah, if A is your soulmate, B is a soulmate idea standard, and B is the guy. B is someone who's actually living, and if he meets those standards, then he's going to be C, which is your soul. Okay, but what am I saying is that your standards changes when you're experiencing life, right? What you said, like I agree with you. You're gonna meet people, you're gonna date other people that aren't completely 100% your standards, and it will change your standards. So then the person who once was going to be your soulmate, if you had met him, somehow miraculously you met that guy on your first try, then you'll keep your standards, right? But if you don't, you go through other different guys, then your standards changes and the person that was your soulmate isn't no longer your soulmate anymore. Does that make sense?
no, because then they were never your soulmate in the first place.
But why does the soulmate have to be?
Because that's literally
See,
what it
so that's
means.
the
They're
difference.
the other half of your soul. If it changes, then that means they're not your soulmate in the first place.
But your soul changes. That's what I'm trying to say. It changes, and then now that other girl that
If they
was
were your
once
soulmate, then they would change along with it.
now you're doing some magical thing. No, there's no magic in this.
Okay, man. I don't know.
Okay.
Go ask Patty. Go ask Patty. She believe in the soulmate and what her idea of a soulmate is.
Then okay, to
Is
answer your
Patty your
question,
soulmate?
then I don't believe in soulmates. If that's your
Is
question.
Patty your soulmate?
I think yes, she is my soulmate right now because
I don't
that's
know.
the standards
You
that
took
I
kind of
have.
long.
Because then I try to look at which definition I'm going with.
It's okay, man. Just tell me the truth. I can edit this out.
Mm.
It's okay. We'll save it for the bachelor party call.
No, I really think, okay, I really my obviously my standards have changed throughout life, and the girl that I once thought was my soulmate changed when I met other girls, you know,
You just met
and
prettier girls, and you wanted prettier girls.
I'm not that shallow,
Most guys are.
huh?
Most guys
Most
are.
guys are statistically, but I I I honestly think that there's always that one person, okay? And see, I need to make this caveat. There's always that one person, although it can be changing, okay? That one person can change that will always match you just because of the sheer amount of people out there. And we change as people, though. That's the thing. So that one person that matches you perfectly will change. Not him or her personally, but it just changes to another person, okay, in the world. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're just too caught up on the actual definition of a soulmate. Like, there's a
I'm just
natural
saying that's
living
what people
person.
think of when they think of a soulmate.
But that's assuming that that's too magical. That's like Disney stuff, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's what people grew up on Disney stuff.
No, I think it's more fluid. It's more fluid than we think it is. Okay.
Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to bring up before we end. So
What?
have you seen this chart of the Americans who self-identify as LGBTQ in 2021 by generation? So they split into by generation, right? And these are like self-reported surveys. Okay. So traditionalists was 0.8% identify as LGBTQ. Okay. So this is people born before 1946. Baby boomers, 1946 to 1964, 2.6%. Okay. And then Gen X, how many do you think?
10,
10%, that's a lot. Gen X is
12,
4.2%. Okay, what about millennials?
5.
10.5%.
Bro, see, I was thinking about
Ah,
millennials
you
when
were
I
thinking
said
about
10.
millennials. Okay. What about Gen Z?
Yeah. 15, no, 12.
20.8%. So it doubles every generation. 0.8, 2.6, 4.2. Millennials, our age, 10.5. And then Gen Z, the newest generation, 20%. It jumped 10% within the last generation.
It's exponential.
So 1 in 5 Gen Z adult identifies LGBTQ. Why do you think it's increasing so much?
It's just the support. People having more support. So then they have the option of like identifying as LGBTQ, you know? It's just more support, and they don't have to be afraid now to choose that way. I guess a lot of people, traditional boomers and things like that, they were very restricted and scared. So then they don't want to swing that way, right? So um, they just are okay with being straight and not coming out. But now it's okay to do it. A lot of support are there, so I think that's a good thing for people to be supported, right?
Okay, so you think it's due to the support? That's why people. Wait, so you're saying that people back then they were already LGBTQ, but they don't want to self-identify, or they don't want to live as LGBTQ and just choose to live a straight life?
They are afraid, and they don't want identify that way. They don't want to put it
But
on the
is
survey or
is
whatever. The right?
even if it's anonymous?
Yeah, even if it's anonymous, because that's what they struggle with, right? And so, although they once felt like they were, you know, on the fence about being LGBTQ or whatever, they decided not to go that way, and they're so they would answer on the survey. I'm guessing it's an anonymous survey saying like, "What would you identify as?" They're like, "Well, I already went through that phase. I didn't want to go out that way." So then they answer that way. But then now kids, right? Because the survey is asking kids. These are kids, and how kids think. They're like, they could be anything they want to be, and they
Wait,
have full support.
well, first of all, you're saying it's a choice to be LGBTQ?
Yeah, I think it's it's like a feeling that you have, and you're like, I can't fight this. This is how I feel. So identify that
So
way.
can you fight it or can you not?
Some people can fight it. Some people can't.
Well, I mean, that's not the point I'm trying to make though, because not what people say is it's not a choice. It's they were born that way to be LGBTQ.
No. So there are people that are born that way, and some can fight it, and some can't. That's what I believe.
We can sit down.
Oh,
We can have a deep dive
but
about
see,
this in the future.
look, no, look, because some people have it harder than others, right? Some people that are born with both sex organs, right?
Okay,
That's gonna
intersex.
be yeah. Some people are gonna be born. We learn about all those genetic disorders.
That's
So
that's
those are
that's
gonna
one
be,
that's 1% of the population.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Those people are gonna have it harder, right? But there are those people that are just completely normal, but they go through life events. They deal with things during their childhood. They experience different things. And then when it comes to actually identifying who they are, they're there to make a choice. See that choice? And it can be hard or it can be easy based on their support system, right? If they were born in a Christian or Catholic family, but made it seem their life events somehow uh, like influenced them to be gay, it's going to be hard for them to actually accept who they are because of their living circumstances. They're born in a Catholic and Christian family, okay? And so they won't identify that way, and they will hide it until they can come out when they have the choice to. But at the end of the day, it's still a choice. They're like, this is how I felt throughout my childhood. This is how I really am. That's, I really think it is. Um, yeah.
So you're saying that Gen Z
That's
have
it.
a double 20% identify as LGBTQ because they have more choices now.
They have, like I said, yeah, when they have that choice to either come out and they see that they can because they have more of a support and their family supports it more now and stuff like that, then they're able to choose that. Like, wow, I can actually choose to be LGBTQ and not be defamed or whatever the word. I can't think of it. Be like ostracized or abandoned from my whole family and stuff. Um, yeah. Don't you think the kids these days have more choices than even we did as kids ourselves?
Like what?
It's like look all the technology and stuff. Like I didn't have all these choices of like watching whatever I want because YouTube literally has everything. All this like Netflix and stuff. I didn't have that stuff as a kid. I just watched what was on TV, cable TV or non-cable TV. It's like programs, right? But now there's just so many selections. I can select anything.
I don't know. If anything, I say they
It's
have less
just one of
choices
those
now
things.
because like back then we can choose to go outside and with our friend's house and play, you know, play a kickball down the street or play basketball down the next street. You don't get the option.
Uh
You don't
huh.
get the option now. I mean, sure, you have more choices than what you want to watch. Okay,
That's they have a
it's
choice to
it's
go
it's it's, it's
outside,
an
but they
illusion. It's an
choose.
illusion of choice. Are you gonna go outside and play with who? All their friends, none of their friends are outside. All their friends are online playing games.
Yes, that is true. So the majority of people are moving on more online, and but
It's the illusion of choice.
it, I get it's an illusion of choice, but like inside the stratosphere of online, there's so many choices though.
But it's not much of a choice. They don't have the choice to, let's say, a kid who doesn't like going out online, a kid who like being physical and in physical contact with people. Usually extroverted people, right? They like being
Yeah,
in the physical presence with other people. They like going to other people's
but
houses.
see that's another that's another topic, right? The generation, what's it's leading to, and what they're more interested in. Obviously, it's leading more onto online things and social media and stuff like that. I totally see that. I see that as like right now when I have Jared and his friends. They love playing Roblox online. They don't even want to go outside, even though they live really close by. I drove him to one of his friend's house the other day just so they can do something, but they ended up staying inside their rooms and playing games. But they did go outside on the swimming pool this summer. But like, I definitely see that. I get what you're saying, illusion of choice, because
Now, let's say I want
most
to go
are
play
just
pickup basketball back then. I always notice a group of
uh-huh.
kids at a basketball court compared to, let's say,
Yeah.
now, where I'm like, no one's even at the basketball court. A basketball court is taken
This
over.
is anecdotal, man. I went to the basketball court before, like, and there's still a bunch of kids there. There's always kids at the basketball court, man. I don't know if it's less than before,
Yeah, I don't know either.
maybe,
I'm just pulling stuff out of my butt.
but I think I always see it. I always see basketball courts being full.
Yeah, full with like middle aged, men.
No, no, man. If we don't have the data, so we don't know. But I really think because basketball, like the National Basketball Association, they're on top of their social media. They have really big influences on their kids as well. And obviously they have influence on the adults, and the adults influence the kids. So when we play basketball with them, we take them outside. They're gonna like it, and they're gonna continue wanting to play outside. So I think that the group of kids that want to be physical and play outside are still there. It's not like dwindling at exponential numbers. I don't think that's the case.
No.
Um, no, because look at all the social media coverage on basketball. The
And kids playing
kids are
basketball
still
outside.
looking up to basketball players as role models.
I mean, that's great.
Huh?
I'm sure they still look up to them, but it doesn't mean they're
Yeah.
playing basketball.
They're playing basketball
They playing
online
2K, bro.
Roblox. All right, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah,
Like that's the whole rise of esports, right? People are looking up to like these professional gamers and stuff.
yeah. Do they
Bro,
really?
that was not a thing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, uh, I think the esports is a lot bigger now. Esports and like like their favorite streamers, like I think they look up to them in a sense that they want to be a streamer themselves. Like, oh, like
Well, okay, wait.
if so and so can do
Streamers are
it,
different from esports.
then I can do it too.
Most
Yeah, but I mentioned them
most of the
because
big
there's a lot.
streamers are not even esports professionals.
No, no, you're absolutely right. But um, there are some that are on esports, right, teams, and they stream as part of their like. I think that's how they get money for their whatever. I don't know, but if you're an esport player, you're most likely gonna have a stream. But you're right; it doesn't work the other way around. Just because you're a streamer doesn't mean you're like a freaking professional
Who who
gamer,
who is Jared's favorite esport professional?
huh?
Does Jared watch esport?
No, he doesn't. But he watches Just streamers playing games.
What
like
age? What
YouTubers
age do you
playing
usually
games.
get into like esports streaming and stuff? I don't know. I mean, you said kids look up to the esports streamers, esports professionals and stuff. I'm just wondering who. I guess like the FaZe clans and stuff.
Face Clan?
Yeah, have you heard those guys?
No.
Yeah. Oh, it's like Call of Duty people.
Oh.
I don't know, man. If I was a kid, I would. None of those esports professionals looks like anything I want to be, bro. That's not someone I want to model myself after. Anyway,
Yeah, probably not.
that's what we have for this episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna go watch Top
Alright.
and work out.
Let me know how it goes.
Until next time, been coaching medicine with you.
Alright. See you guys.